Fast forward, you come over channel, your social media, house, your FunnTV GH. Podcast stories are training me, Chris making headlines. And your gym running, you be Akroma or Honey, you know, Braxton say, and you really can message so we can subscribe to the channel. Hit on notification bell, share now for phone so into me. You make sure on your say what you may say, Amami. Na young bone right political hiring so. Cheddar, Eddie, the true state of the nation's address, a true and rare. Now, according to the findings and then reports are winyan abra all ko apro our Ghana has impatem bimu. What do you need to do? What I say, Oko Western Regional. Sana o my Ghana ni here mine. O share gold mining companies ahodo ho. Na omotutu amena donko nya asem kotoa. Edi asay o man asase. Na omufasika dosopu twidie edi ko eye amonone ekoyi omuman yi. No man Ghana timamufu a omoti baby omutu gold na nkasa krampo no omukwanye. Omukwanye omuswa say cyanide afa mercury ni ade yare ahodo we na Cheddar ekemi bi se mon kama kuma entum yam enye ponko na mede bekwa santimemu communities mining companies e woso nyina ye be yan hihye pa ama mabunu no obia ho atono timemufuo no obia ho atono obia nya adwuma payo woni sema hodo a e call so a e ho behia se onso hu de yakọ ene de ba dudu na nkase do so puo no e wo Cheddar ho at this point in time e bobo ewura na fe ye ne hwe ne yakọ ene de ba shine so am say ha e FunnTV
Western North. Akroma very well. Prestia, we had over 5,000 youth, facing us, looking for opportunity, and they were expecting us. I can never, forget that very moment, how we were welcomed. But the thing is, we drove over 2 hours on untarred road. We saw that the largest gold mines owned by foreigners were situated in these areas, but worse roads, highly polluted environment. In fact, this is the richest region in the country, the Western. Our research says that it has over 1.7 trillion attributable reserves and arable lands for farming. But I was surprised how it was being used. It made me wonder, where did we go wrong? Where did we go wrong in Ghana? Now, I came to Central Region, and now I'm in Accra. Central Region, I did see one of the best policies in Africa in Central Region, but I believe that the value in Central Region has not been harnessed properly. The point, to summarize what I'm saying, is that I have discovered more poverty. I have discovered more pain, more struggle, pollution, and no hope with this trip. And I've realized that our leaders haven't invested in the people, in the constituencies, 276 constituencies. I've realized that that's what forms the entire parliamentarians. Well, tonight, I want to tell everyone that is listening to me that I've had the opportunity to travel around Ghana, and I've had the chance to see what we live for and how bad we have treated our people. And that did not bring me down, but rather it inspired me and made me realize that we have work to do. It doesn't matter. And I'm not here to bring down any party in the past. And I'm not here to also talk about the past that we've done wrong. I'm here to talk about the best of solution for us to go forward, to be able to build our nation and give opportunity equally to the citizens of this country. I believe that they also deserve a fair share of their own equity. The new force, we stand for these priorities, to empower people and to create jobs for them. On that note, fellow citizens, in the next 48 hours, a few of us will be going to the polls. Our bold security officers, our dedicated ambulance service workers, the customs service, the prisons, the immigration, and the Ghana Armed Forces shall be exercising their franchise. I want to first of all thank them wholeheartedly for their dedication to this nation. I have personally been a big beneficiary of the selflessness of the police service and the army this year, but I am saddened by your mere salary, poor pensions and benefits, poor accommodations. During my policy lunch in September, I spoke to you about the SNIT revolution, which is part of the 12 pillars. You can access it. A total restructuring of the SNIT into a state insurance corporation that allows you to make claims after 5 years. These claims can be made against your accommodation, your health, and your children's education, or even yourself. I've also told you about my commitment to increasing your salaries drastically by ushering you all into the 16th regional industrial revolution. I know this salary is not enough until it moves from low income to mid income. Our economy cannot be sustained. I want you soldiers to manufacture your own uniforms and also the uniforms for the police of this country, and because of that, and be the CEOs of the manufacturing that I will introduce into these governmental institutions. Construction companies, the army, the defense center can help, the police center can help. I want you to be a part of the economic development of this nation and not just security officers. Under my leadership, there will be many other avenues for you to generate extra revenue, income, so that you will not be forced to be puppets of any ruling government, but truly serve the national interest. Lastly, I want you to have what you truly deserve when you go for peacekeeping. You receive some of the smallest stipends in Africa, and I'm going to end that. Now to our media men and journalists, I appreciate your efforts. Yes, I know the extent to which some media houses and platforms have gone to block my messages, stifle my policies, withhold my videos from being aired, and perhaps taking money to work against me. But I still empathize with you. Your power has been taken from you by mere politicians. The very foundation of your institution has been broken. You should have been the voice of the people, but they turned you into the voice of politicians. I want to tell you that you control the sentiments of the people, and that is a very delicate position. You are the press, and you decide for the president. Kindly do not mislead or misinform people. The media should rise above all the controls of politicians and commercial interest, and ensure that we work to save our nation together. I will see and ensure to it that we expand your industry so you can create revenues from other avenues as well. My message to the disabilities, my brothers and sisters, you have been victims of motor accidents, misdiagnosis, or have been born with some deformities. They call you disabled. I call you differently abled. I'm a man of action. I empathize with you. You have seen what I've done for blind friend of mine, Brown, who has sponsored to become a journalist. You have seen a set of business I've set up for my friends. They call one leg, a man who battled with weak limbs but has now built his own house and business through Uber. I come with equity, equality, and empowerment. And I want to wish all you special people that are voting, well, that it's time that we vote wisely to determine the future of our country. And it's no more time for us to vote based on parties. Let's stand for our nation and our country. This gives me the chance, after the 276, maybe talk about parliamentary procedures. Fellow citizens, many people have asked me how I would work with no MPs on my side in Parliament. I chose not to answer it publicly. Today, I am going to. In fact, or should I say, as a matter of fact, this is a unique opportunity for us to unite the nation and to work in the national interest. I realized when I was doing the 276 that every single constituency that has an MP who makes the laws for this constituency has not seen to it the laws being effective, and that's why all the constituencies were undeveloped. These are the same people that are our parliamentarians, but I have no problem with that. The good thing is, today we might have 276 parliamentarians. If one party wins, their parliamentarian stands behind them and the other one fights them. But here's the unique opportunity that I'm about to share with Ghanaians in the position that I stand in today as New Force. Have you ever thought of if Ghana had a third party to stand up against this duopoly, and one becomes a president and the two duopolies also become a parliamentarian members? We will have no choice but, for the sake of Ghana, we would have the bargaining chip to come together to do what is right for Ghana, more so than our suggestions being leaned onto one side. If one party wins, then their parliamentarians are supporting them and fighting the other one. We have faced this problem for over 32 years. My point that I'm making is, as a young man, I'm not here to fight my elders, but I'm here to add value to the society I belong to. This is an opportunity that we have, a bargaining chip, to collate, to merge all these parliamentarians and the new leaders of the new generation, so we can go ahead and harness Ghana together. Well, I like to say that with all this being said, I have a surprise for Ghanaians. Often, one would have expected it to be me unveiling another character from the New Six. Fortunately and unfortunately, not tonight. I'm not unveiling any character, but they will be unveiled sooner than later. It's just that I'm glad I've been able to unveil our current state of the nation and unveiled some of the truth that has been hidden from us as a country. But this gives me the chance to bring out the surprise of our new manifesto. Fellow citizens, dear countrymen and women, help me launch the Galamsey Manifesto. But if you just give me a second, I want to launch this to Ghanaian. We can launch it. I will. Just 5 seconds.
I'm going to say what Jim Ratin was a FunnTV GH podcast story set when we making headlines. And a Jim Rani DB Exum or Hanidium Braximus and a Kanya. Woman has to subscribe to the channel, hit on notification bell, share. Na afi dumadi no ntimi emfa no ntimi kwa emfa eni de mo ayemo wra yensem sisi na ye bo ewra yensem a ye true state of the nation's address a Cheddar de Bible ntin so ena wo kire say o man Ghana sa na o man ye hu hia ye sa o man ne nye o man a ese kuyela la sulala e wo man foforo so o man ne nye o man a ese nke mumma bunu efa poso so mo ko amonone kotito wonsuo mu ko wuo enye oman a ese nke maburu sransa na ko madi according to the survey our year based on no campaign trial okoye of the far western region on say su kwampa ye ne kre oman Ghana nyame ani ya bro kwan bia so nenso yempayimfuo o mafu ene nhihye bone enti ene ama adehye akoye nkoa ene nkoa te ponko so muntu aba na ma no ba obesesa oman no ama oman no adan te se amano ni woni sema hodo a ekoso a at this point in time e so hu de ko ene de aha e FunnTV GH.
Well, thank you, dear countrymen and women. On my tour, going around this country, what really broke my heart the most was seeing our lands and waters completely destroyed without shame. The use of state machinery to protect the perpetrators of this and the looming danger that beholds Ghanaians living in this community and the entire nation as a whole. Dear citizens, we have an emergency. This has led me to find a solution, the only viable solution, without which we can never overcome the situation. I may now present to you the Galamsey manifesto. For me, I see yesterday's problem becoming tomorrow's opportunity. In the 60s, Lee Kuan Yew of Singapore turned the water problem of Singapore into a national asset. And that changed the entire Singapore. That was maybe close to 70 years ago. He was the first prime minister in 1959, just around the same time as Kwame Nkrumah. They all started together. Today, Singapore is one of the best countries, well developed in the world. And it all came from the Singapore Enterprise Industrial Team, developing the entire nation. I have a vision, and this vision to turn Ghana better than some of the witness countries that has been built in the last century. I'm very proud of mentors and leaders like this. Well, let's get back to their manifesto. Why did I decide to do a manifesto for Galamsey? Because I wanted to give you a national asset, not just the 12 pillars that will rebuild the building as Ghana, but I also wanted to give you the inside information, the solutions to do what Lee Kuan Yew did for his people and for his country, by turning his problems or his crisis into an opportunity and letting that become a national development that will be globally recognized and appreciated. My vision is to do that for Ghana and go beyond the borders of Ghana and help Africa. I believe we Africans deserve better. We deserve more. We deserve to do what the Western world, Asia world, and many other continents on this planet Earth are doing. So, let me start by introducing the people that caused the problem and how the problem was caused. They said the only way to have the best solution for a problem is to go back to the roots of the problem. So we went back to the roots and realized that the imperialists, who are the international influence, and they work through multinational companies. They are the imperialists. And then coming down from the imperialists is the cartel. The cartel is the government, and of course, in the government, you have the politicians and the chiefs who are taking royalties from being the landowner. And when you move down from the cartels, you go down to the mafias. The mafias are the Galamseys. I just want to explain to Ghanaians that these local Galamseys kingpins are using cyanide and mercury to wash the sand. I want to just wait on this part a bit, that the three things I've mentioned, the imperialists, and then the cartels, and the mafias. The imperialists are the ones controlling the hard rock mining. The cartels are the ones controlling the colluvial mining. So that is the politicians and the chieftaincies. And the mafias are the basic Ghanaians who did not get any job and started to do alluvial mining within all these constituencies. This mafia state is undissolvable unless we apply this plan, which is in this manifesto. So there are three types of mining. You have the hard rock mining, which comes from upstream mining. And then you have the colluvial mining, which comes from midstream. Then you have the alluvial mining, which comes from low stream. I would like to say that these three things is just like how we take oil from the water as crude oil, and then we refine it in a refinery as mid refinery process, and then bring it to low oil market companies to sell the fuel. That's the same thing that is happening in the mining world, but this time it's destroying our country because of the process. So I know what I'm saying is it's not going to be likely for people, but this manifesto is the only thing that will save this nation, because I can see the opportunity, the vision of Ghana becoming the star of Africa, the powerhouse, if we can go into hard rock mining ourselves and start to create reserves. If we can go into colluvial ourselves and alluvial. So that brings me to a solution, and it's called, the solution will be based on investment and development. Well, I'd like to start by an investment that I have as a vision for the country, which is water purification. This water purification, all our water bodies in this country, completely destroyed. Now, the water purification, together with the plants of recycling, will cost us 4.5 billion to purify all the water. And if we don't, we are destroying the lands. We are turning all the lands that we grow our crops on into a poisonous land. Very soon, we will not be able to have water in this country, and we will have problems in crop farming because the land has begun to be destroyed and is moving very fast, rapid. Now, if you look at the numbers I was just showing you, 4.5 billion, and the returns of this investment in 10 years is going to give us 32.1 billion, which is 200 tons of gold. Up to date, Ghana, we still don't have that gold in our reserves. We had 7 point something tons, and recently they said a few has been added. Whether over 10, I'm yet to find out. But 200 tons secures you 32 point something billion sitting as our reserves in 10 years, just by this investment. But there is more to this investment that is coming. We are going to use this investment as purifying the water with extra plants. Guys, I think you have the plants, so if you can show the plants. The plants, I would like the plants are here. So these plants are going to do three things. It's going to take the water, it's going to purify the water, and then it's going to extract the poison out of it, which is cyanide and mercury. But here's an interesting thing that we found. We did the research and realized that once you are able to extract the cyanide, you can turn it to ammonia. Ammonia means you're going into the process of urea, and urea is fertilizer. Currently, we import fertilizers for all farmers. This could be one of our biggest opportunity in lifetime, because now the one problem that we had has come to solve all the problems. Now we're taking the cyanide and the mercury and processing it with some sodium and turning it into fertilizers. Not only would have the purified water gone back into the grounds by building the biggest irrigation system that will harness our agriculture and make us become the #1 food producers in Africa with all our water bodies. This vision, it took Galamsey's problem for us to discover this opportunity. As I'm saying today, we will turn this around and Ghana will have the most jobs, because the recycling plant will be the beginning of our industrial power and our scientific research to find out what we can use anything in Ghana to do, from the plastic on the floor to the clay and to the poison in the water. And not to forget this.
And we ain't small to me course watching and so no as so Jim Awaha. That's an ace or bad India to be a dominion. There was some ballroom, not yet me a cheese as I ask. Aha, FunnTV GH.